Hi everyone, Michael Cavacini here, and I'd like to share with you in a series of videos my thoughts on every movie in the Saw franchise. Because with Halloween coming up, I figured now's a great time to revisit these films. So first off, we're going to start with my thoughts on the original Saw. So I'm a longtime fan of the Saw series, and it's been one of the highest grossing horror film franchises of all time, bringing more than $500 million across 8 films, starting with the original 2004 classic. The newest movie, Spiral, is not a direct sequel to the previous 8 movies, rather it's a spin-off, a standalone movie that lives in the Saw universe that blazes a new trail all its own. Of course, if it's successful, they've talked about sequels, and actually I think they've already said that they're going to do a sequel to Spiral and another Saw movie proper. They may have actually announced the date. Anyway, point is the Saw franchise has become this universe at this point, similar to Marvel and all these other franchises. That's kind of the thing nowadays. But yeah, so anyway, let's just kind of dive in here with my thoughts on the original Saw. So I've been a fan of horror movies for as long as I can remember, with Halloween, Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street being among my favorites. Saw is right up there as well. The first movie is an interesting one because it's not filled with the torture porn that the series is known for in its sequels. I think that's something that people get wrong quite a bit. Rather than being straight up horror movie, it's really a tense thriller with horror elements peppered in for good measure. It focuses on 2 men waking up, chained to pipes in the same room, wondering how they got there and what they need to do to get out. Danny Glover was the most notable actor in the movie at the time, with Carrie Elwes and of Princess Bride fame coming in second. Other than Tobin Bell, who we barely see in this first outing, the acting in Saw is actually pretty terrible, but in the best way possible. The quality of the acting is similar to that of early Resident Evil games on PlayStation, if you remember. Don't open that door! In other words, campy, but seemingly unintentionally so. When Dr. Gordon yells, "Stop the lying! You're a liar!" With the delivery of Will Ferrell, I start laughing out loud. It's just so ridiculous. And Lee Winnell, who wrote the movie and plays the other guy chained to the mysterious room, is the worst actor of all. His lines and body language are atrocious, but it gives the film a charming character that otherwise wouldn't have, so I appreciate it for that. The music in Saw was scored by Charlie Clouser, and it's amazing. Like any successful horror movie series, you need an unmistakable theme, and boy, does Saw have one. Clouser's score in this film and the sequels is a character all its own. The fans love his contributions to the Saw universe, and I'm happy to hear that he scored Spiral as well. I mean, it's just fantastic that they are taking advantage of his immense talent. I'm not going to spoil any of the revelations in Saw because that would rob you of a wonderful experience. Everyone should experience Saw that first time, right? As a Saw virgin. But I will say this, the ending is as unpredictable as it gets, especially back in 2004. There are plenty of red herrings, and that's part of the fun. I enjoy watching a movie like this, wondering who the evil mastermind is that's behind it all. Some have criticized Saw and its sequels for being too heavy-handed when it comes to explaining the plot, with plenty of flashbacks to help the viewer connect the dots. While I understand this gripe, I also appreciate being guided to the ultimate conclusion, rather than being forced to rewatch specific scenes to pick up on everything. Who the heck wants to watch a movie just have to go read an article about what did it mean? That said, this movie and others are worth watching multiple times because you will absolutely notice clues along the way. I'm not exactly sure how many times I've seen Saw, but it holds up well each time. It's an excellent thriller that delivers a heavy dose of suspense, and it spawned one of the most epic series of all time, as well as an iconic character in the Jigsaw Killer. If you haven't seen Saw before, watch it. If you have, watch it again. The game isn't over, it's just begun. So what are your thoughts on Saw? Please share them with me down below. I would love to hear if you love this movie, if you hate this movie, and why. And if you've never seen Saw, down below I've got a link. You can click there, buy yourself a copy of Saw, and watch it. Because Halloween's coming up. I mean, as I record this, we're a little more than a month away from Halloween, one of my favorite holidays. So I'm going to record videos about all these Saw movies, and I want you to join in on the discussion. So let me know your thoughts on Saw, especially the first one. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Whatever you want to share, feel free to do so. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to check out more awesome stuff like this on my YouTube channel, as well as my website, michaelcavacini.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're gearing up for Halloween. I know I am. And I'll be talking to you soon when we're going to be talking about Saw 2. Oh yeah. Take care.